Welcome back, everybody, to this week's. I'm looking at my phone again. Hold on. This week's Minisode. I'm so happy that you're here. We are still using our new technology. I'm still getting used to it. So let me, 1 second, get to my notes here. Okay. Yes. Happy. What is it? Gonna be Friday, Junior Wednesday for me. Jasmine's here with me, and it's chilly in this apartment, y'all. I actually just turned the heat on. I actually keep the AC on still sometimes, yeah, so I need to get my head on straight here. So, yeah, it's Friday, Junior, and it's literally December out, and it's been kind of mild here in middle Tennessee, so me having my AC on isn't completely crazy. It hasn't snowed once. There's still kind of leaves on the tree. But anyway, so this past weekend was actually pretty good because Mark and I went to an ugly sweater. Oh no, I forgot my tissues. They're way over there. It's okay, I'll get through. I might have to use my sweater. Don't be grossed out. I've had the sniffles since, what's today, Wednesday? I've had the sniffles since Saturday or Sunday. Not horrible. I can sleep pretty okay at night. And, but it's just, I do need the tissues next to me at all times. And I completely forgot that. Now I can't get up, not only because I'm recording, but because I have a cat on my lap, it's okay. We're just gonna go old school with the old sleeve. Anyway, so as I was saying, Mark and I went to an ugly sweater party on Saturday. It was like the first holiday party that I'd been to this year. And it was really sweet. They had a really great Christmas tree up, like the little games that we played. Well, we played one game, which actually was pretty fun. It was called Hot Take. I know there's a podcast called that, which I do like, but this was kind of like somewhat of a debatey game where somebody reads off like a hot take, right? And it's not controversial. It's just funny stuff like the toilet paper should be on top the roll or it should be under, and then people can disagree or agree. And then you have to talk to the people that you agree with and then or disagree with. And then you kind of state your case to the person who decides whether or not it's true. It is good. I liked it. It was kind of a fun way to get that debate out of you, the argument side of you out. It was in a healthy way. I liked it. And then we had these we had these sweaters we wear once a year. And I've said this 5 times already, what our sweaters were called. I'll say it again. Mine was called Tinsel Tits, and Mark's was Jingle Balls. And I think it's so tacky, and it's kind of not that funny, but I think it's funny because it's not funny, and then people kind of find it humorous. So I was like, all right, they work. So, yeah. Anyway, dealing with the sniffles, and it's not great. It's making my skin kind of dry, surprisingly. And we have some travels coming up, so it's kind of been the same for the past several days, and usually it just kind of escalates real quick and then it goes away. So I hope and pray that it's just gonna go away. It's not gonna get any worse, because on Saturday, this coming Saturday, we have a holiday party for his work, but that's in Chattanooga, and that's an hour and a half, 2 hours away. And we have to stay the night over there, and then come Monday, Tuesday, I don't even know anymore. We have to go back down to Miami, and I've been talking about this, but we have to go back down for 2 days because some of my family is going to be there, and they want to meet some of Mark's family. So we're just going to make it happen. It's kind of this is really in the way, I feel. Hold on. Let's do this. There we go. That's better. Yeah, so we're just gonna make that happen, kind of meet it's inconvenient, but we're gonna make it work. And then that's Christmas after that. Can you believe it? Really needs to snow. Anyway, so this week I kind of got passioned up on some topics because the New Year's coming up, as we all know, and whether you admit it or not, we are all, at one point in our lives, the resolutioner, right? The new year, it's just like a Monday, right? But like, times 10. It's the new start of something. You just naturally feel fresh. You feel like a sense of, I got this, we can do this, let's look forward to doing this or that this coming year. And we've all been there. And I roll my eyes at the people who do set New Year's resolutions, but I need to not be like that because we've all done it and we all have goals, and it's okay to have and to utilize that momentum and that, what's the word I'm looking for? Not momentum, motivation, the other M. It's okay to use that motivation. And so I wanted to talk about that in a way, because for those of you who don't have coaches, it's kind of talking toward those people who don't have coaches, or, not, excuse me, it's actually kind of both, because the coach-client relationship should be your top priority relationship in your life. It's so, so important, especially when you're spending money on it. Ugh. This is falling down. I need to not move as much. Should I just put this in my hand? I actually look like one of those TikTokers. Hi, what's your opinion? All right, I'll just hold it. What was I saying? Yeah. The coach-client relationship should be your top priority. It should be a healthy relationship. It should have healthy communication, have healthy boundaries, everything like any other relationship, because you're not going to get anywhere if you don't understand how to have a good relationship with your coach. And, even if it's like group coaching, you may not have complete access to your coach, but a good coach at least should always be there for questions and guidance regardless, right? Especially the FFP. So I wanted to talk about that because if you're somebody who is going to start in the new year, that's what I kind of did 2 years ago. Well, it was right before New Year's, but I was going to start in January. I was, but they're like, KateLynn, don't do that. Just start now. And it was like December. I was like, all right, what's the difference? Nothing. And guess what? It wasn't that big of a deal. So I did it. And you know what? It's been the best investment of my life. It really has. And every so often I'll think like, well, could I do this by myself? Should I save a little money? And every time I'm just like, I'm not ready. I don't think I'll ever be. I'm not ready to break up. But I'll know when the time comes when I can fly on my own, But my relationship with my coach has evolved tremendously over the years. I've actually had 2 different coaches. One was with somebody who used to work for us. She moved on to a different style of coaching that we didn't do. And then now I work with Lindsay. And looking back with my first coach, I could have done so much better. One, I was just oblivious to how it's supposed to be. And I think that's where a lot of people are coming from. We're what are we doing here? You're kind of tiptoeing around each other, and there's this person barking at you like, hi, give me this information, do these workouts, here are your macros, how are you doing? Just checking in, what are you doing, what's going on, And that's a good coach, constantly trying to communicate with you. And some people, I'm a pretty straightforward person. I like to be, I don't want to say easy, but I don't like to, I think a lot of people are like this, don't like to give a lot of, I don't want to make you do too much work or whatever, or seem too difficult, if you will. So I think it's important to talk about exactly where you can stand with your coach when you're going to hire one, and where, where those boundaries are and whatnot. So let me pull out my little notes, wipe my nose. Oh boy. Okay. Yeah. So like I said, your relationship with your coach should be your top priority, and there should be absolute complete trust. Because, and you know what, there needs to be trust. There needs to be vulnerability. There needs to be open communication. And vulnerability sounds like kind of, that sounds dumb. It's just my coach. Well, it'll be vulnerability on your part, because under all of those things that are necessary for a great relationship with your coach, there'll always come times when you feel shameful, where you'll be embarrassed that you drank too much last night or over the weekend, or you binged on an entire Papa John's pizza, or there was something happened and you missed a couple of workouts and you log it anyway to make it look like you did your workouts. You can fudge things easily, but trust me when I say that your coach knows when you're not disclosing everything. Like, you're not, as much as you try to hide something from them, like you're really not. They may not know exactly, oh, she didn't do this workout, she didn't drink that much water. Like, they may not know exactly what is going on, but they know something's going on and that you're not telling them something. And they're not going to drag it out of you as much as they'd love to pull teeth. You're on your own journey, right? And I think that's why this is such a great topic, because it's hard and vulnerable and difficult to put your failures out in the white, bright sky for all to see. But that's literally why you're spending your money on this coach or this workout program. I'm really just talking about a coach because you're talking to them. You can't talk to anybody if you buy an online program, but you get my gist. So, like, that's what you're spending your money on. Somebody to, like, guide you. Lindsay said the best example. What was it? In the last week's episode, she was just talking about, everyone's car steers a little bit to the left. And if you know how, and I literally learned how to drive a car that you had to, like, hold it, like, several degrees to the left in order for it to drive straight. It really hit home for me. So it was just such a great example that we all have these ranky-dank cars and we learn to work around it, right? And we're not perfect people. We're not going to do a perfect job in all of our goals every single day. As much as we try and as easy as it can be to, like, just drink your water. How effing hard is that? Well, I'm actually about a half gallon behind. Well, I could still do it. But you see what I mean? That there's always going to be something that you're like, I want to make my coach proud. And I feel this every single week. Every single week, I'm kind of like, I got to tell her I didn't hit my steps. And if I tell her why, it feels like excuses, but it's just kind of like the reasoning. It's not an excuse as to why it's okay type of thing. That's why I hate the word excuse sometimes. But does that make sense? There's always going to be something that you didn't do, but you got to tell them, because that feedback is not only helpful for them because it helps them know exactly what to do for you next, and then it can help your coach grow and get to know you better and know where your little shortcomings are. Oh, you got this trip coming up. You tend to fall off the wagon a little bit more than you should. Well, let's try these new techniques to keep you a little bit more on track this next trip, right? It's not, and I think a lot of people view coaches too, or trainers even. I'm just going to say coaches, because trainers, it sounds more just like the personal trainer you go see at the gym and you could give a shit. A coach is a coach, So, what was I saying? Yeah. So a coach is there to keep you in those guidelines, and they're not there to shame you and make you feel bad. They're really not, but that's a lot of the associations that people have in their head about coaches, is that, oh, I'm going to get chewed out, or they're going to break up with me, or something like that. But the more you expose to them, oh my God, the better you're gonna achieve, the easier it's gonna be to achieve your goals, like for real. And sometimes I give myself a hard time, like, KateLynn, oh man, it's like 3 years at this point where I've been doing this process. And like looking back, I could give myself such a hard time for all of the obstacles I put in front of me. Like I did it to myself. I drank too much. I, forgot to log my meals, or something, or I was like, I'm tired, I'm not gonna go walk. Like, you're really not that tired. I look back and I could be shameful about all these excuses and all these shortcomings that I had. But this is like the process. Like, this is my life. And this is how it's going to be for the rest of my life. And I've consistently gone down in my weight over the past 3 years, and it's stayed down. That's the dream, right? So I could like give myself a hard time, but the more I've opened up to my coach and the less shameful I feel about my problems, just the easier they are to navigate. What's that saying? Shame thrives in darkness. It really does, because no one sees it but you. So it stays there, and you continue to build on that shame with this one thing that you keep doing. You don't know why you're doing it. But guess what happens when you put light on it? One, it's not some scary monster anymore. And if you see your coach as that light that you're putting onto this obstacle that you keep banging your head against, you'd be surprised, a good coach that is, you'd be surprised at the tips and tricks and tools that they have to help guide you. It's not going to be overnight. It's not going to be over the next week. It's just a process. It's a process. Anyway, okay, so I hope that makes sense. There was another thing too. Let me look at me notes. Excuse me. Yeah, and the other thing too that is important to talk to your coach about is when you are feeling discouraged and when you're doubting the process. Because this process is long when you're doing it the right way, right? Right, Jasmine? When you're doing it the right way, like I said, this month is my 3-year anniversary for being with the FFP as a client. And especially at first, when I was messing up a whole lot more than I do now. One, because of my own doing. Two, I really just didn't know. I thought I was doing the right thing, and eventually I was like, oh, fuck. I'm not doing that right. And that's why a coach is so good, because I thought I was doing this thing the correct way. And then I was like, hey, can I ask you about this? It's a dumb question. They're like, no, actually, you should probably be doing it like this. I'm like, oh my God, I can't believe I was such an idiot. But especially at first for anybody, and I still to this day have those doubts. I have that frustration. I don't ever have motivation. I have motivation, but I don't rely on it. And that's maybe we should talk about that next week, but that's a whole other topic. You should not rely on motivation for anything. Utilize it when it's there, but don't rely on it. Don't fall in love with it. Don't marry it. Don't even look at it. So back to what I was saying. In the beginning, God created the heavens. I'm just kidding. I am all over the place today, y'all. But okay, let's get back on track. When doubts and, discouragement comes, that's going to happen. And that's okay to express to your coach, because we all have been fed misinformation. We all have. And I still believe some of that misinformation. Sometimes don't go anywhere, Jasmine, please, no. Okay, my lap was so warm. All right, I'll just cross my legs. It's okay. So, as I was saying, I don't like the way that looks. This is weird. Okay, I'll just go like this. Yeah. As I was saying, talk to your coach when you are feeling doubtful, when you're feeling discouraged. It's not a jab at them that, hey, you suck at your job. I mean, if you say it like that, be nice. But like, they're not going to take it as like, hi, you suck. This isn't working. Bye. If you say like, hey, I'm not seeing the changes I want right now. Like, what am I doing wrong? Like, just approach it out of a place of curiosity, and they'll just be like, actually, you're doing good. If you want, you could be a little stronger in this area, but honestly, you just keep at it, because we're so used to being told that the process, this whole thing can happen so quickly. 6 weeks or 8 weeks. Woo. Like, no, like, this is your life now. This is your lifestyle. This is how it's going to be for the rest of your life. Maybe not the exact amount of calories you're eating, but you moving, stepping, working out, the water, the protein intake, like, that's going to be for the rest of your life. So get over it, for one. I'll tell you that. They don't have to tell you that. Wait, where are we at with time? Oh, yeah, we're good. So, yeah, the biggest thing is just trust in your coach. And I still have to tell myself every single day to like, trust the process, enjoy the time you have on this earth. And it's just day by day. And in the famous words of Coach Lindsay, let me get to her text, because I was asking her, I was like, hey, do you have any thoughts on this subject? She goes, ask yourself the same question when you wake up every single day. Have my goals changed? If the answer is no, get the work done. I should do that in a Southern accent to make it sound like her. But it's true. Just get it done. If your goals haven't changed, you know exactly what to do. Drink that water, do that protein intake, track the meal, whatever it is for you and the time in your life that you're in right now. And talk to your coach about it. If you're like, hey, I don't like these calories. This is how I'm feeling. Oh, all right. Well, let's change that. And that's why in our coaching, every week we do like a biofeedback, which sounds so sciencey, but it's not. It's just a big long list of like several questions that we send them each week. How was your sleep this week? How was your energy? Rate your track how you did on your tracking this week. Rate yourself on how you did with your workouts, where you're at in your cycle, your digestion, and then like you obviously have to do like a win of the week, which I kind of still hate doing. Like, I got my workouts in, which honestly, that's a win. Or I'm alive, right? And then, when I first started, I just like gave the answer, move on, right? But then I started to open up a little bit more, just being like, I would do a quick little, apparently it's still really short compared to what I've seen some people do, like these long novels of like, this was Monday, this was Tuesday, this was like, whoa, people actually take the time to like write out their entire blog of the week. I'm about to sneeze. This is not good. Oh, but I just started to put a little blurb at the end of that feedback, just saying like, this week was good or this week was bad. This is kind of what I was dealing with, and I didn't sleep well on this day, and so I was really low energy the next day, and I just had to lay on the couch. I just had to lay on the couch. And, I try to be as honest as possible. Like, when I know I'm short that week in something with my steps, or I didn't hit my macros or something, I'll just say why. I'm like, here's what happened. And sometimes it's just like, I was lazy. I just honestly didn't feel like it. And that's happened before. And she'll just be like, girl, you know what? XYZ, not a problem. Well, it is a problem. But she's not, chewing me apart. Right? So anyway, that is just like something I really wanted to express this week. As the new year is coming up, you might be spending money on your health and fitness goals, and or if you're looking to improve the relationship you have with your coach, then here are your tips and tricks. Yay, you're back. Hi, Jasmine. And because like, it's just such a valuable relationship that you're truly spending money on. So like, make the most of it. And here's my recap. You're going to feel shameful. You're going to have slip ups. You're going to have obstacles. Your coach is there to identify those obstacles when you talk back to them. They're there to be like, hey, You haven't been doing this. Let's talk about it. You've been struggling with doing this part, this goal, right? This small thing. Let's talk about that. Like, what do you think? And they'll just dive in from there. It's such a valuable relationship that can take you so, so far. And like I said, Jasmine, I've been doing this for 3 years. Look at Jasmine. She's on my shoulders. I've been doing this for 3 years. I'm like, I should be done by now. But I'm not. And it's okay because I love my coach. I love having her in my life, and I never want her to leave. Right, Jasmine? I hope you guys can hear that. Well, oh my God. On that note, with this episode that has been on fire since this first second I started recording. Thanks for listening. I'm excited to hear from you guys inside that Facebook group. We're going to be doing another round of coaching questions hopefully soon. So DM me those, email me those. The email is below. Put it in the Facebook group, anything and everything. We love hearing from you guys. And I'm so excited for next year too, because we just planned out all of next year. All of it. It's all done. My brain is free. I'm so excited for the topics that we have coming up. If there's anything, honestly, that you guys want to hear specifically, call me. Tell me. I don't care. I love it. I love to know what you want to know. Oh, about to sneeze again. All that stuff. So yeah, until next time, you all have a great, great, great weekend. Peace out. Thanks for listening to the FFP Alignment Podcast. Please support us by downloading, rating, and recommending us to your friends and family. Be sure to check us out on Instagram at the FitFemme Project. That's FITFEMME Project. And for those of you looking to find their essential balance of lifestyle and fitness, book a free consult by going to thefitfemmeproject.com. That's FITFEMME Project.com and click Apply Now. Until next time, this is the FitFemme Project Alignment Podcast.